at the Electric Lady Lounge on Ocean.
Do something! We got a tail!
Driver, corruption and betrayal ignite in the adrenaline-charged chase of an era. Grab it now on PlayStation.
Man, don't be a driver! PlayStation!
Jeez.
We had the 70s and the 90s. Look at that.
Yeah. They put a little Judge Wapner in there. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Play Retro. That's right. We're here to talk about retro games. I'm one of your hosts, Scott Johnson, and I have a hankering for a good paid wheelman job. Oh, you have some options for me. Sweet. You need it all done in a ridiculous amount of time limits? F off, driver 1 and 2. Maybe next time you can give me a little room to breathe. Car models are nice, though, and I really dig your street stereotypes. Take that, GTA. We could have had been a contender here. Maybe still could be. Remaster this business, and we can talk.
Yes, and I'm your other host, Brian Dunaway, and I may not be the wheelman you wanted, but I am the wheelman you deserve, and as soon as I figure out how to get out of this parking garage, I'm going to driver this video game right back to Blockbuster where I rented it and get a refund. Son of a... Why is this so hard? The interview should be called Don't Call Me Again. I'm playing something else.
Yeah, they should call this game Souls-like Car Chase Edition. It's harder than you remember, Driver 1 and 2, folks. We promise you that.
Yeah. We're
going to get into why, maybe. We'll talk about what they could do to maybe fix that. But also, it's an important game. I think it helped mold the future of this sort of thing, including future GTA titles, you know?
Oh, yeah. It gets often compared to GTA, especially Driver 2. And, there's, some debate on who influenced who the most. And we're going to find out today.
I'm going to argue that GTA from 3 on were heavily influenced by Driver.
Right.
And Driver was slightly influenced by the top-down GTAs. But it just kind of kept going from there. That's the way of the business. Everybody iterates on top of each other. And we're going to talk about that and so much more coming up here in a second. But before we do, I got up to no retro stuff this week, really. Not really.
What? No retro at all?
I mean, I'm still playing Joust in bed. Does that count? I'm doing that.
Every time you say that, it sounds like euphemism.
I know. I know, it really does. But I have been just popping open an Ambernick and playing a little bit of Joust. Right. I did see, and I saw it in the chat room as well, but I guess Ambernick has now lifted their U.S. shipping ban.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yes. So Ambernick sent an email earlier today, and they said, hey, shipping's back on, baby, which is fine. They'd already pre-shipped a whole bunch of stuff to the U.S. warehouses, and but now I guess you can order directly from Ambernick, which is good because they got a new handheld model out.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear about that.
Yeah.
In fact, let's talk about what you got up to this week because it involves that device. What'd you do?
Absolutely. So if you haven't heard on our YouTube channel, which you might be watching right now, or maybe listen to the podcast, go over to YouTube, look for Play Retro Show. Is that how it's listed in YouTube?
It is YouTube. So it's youtube.com/@PlayRetroShow. That is correct.
Yes, do that. Also like, subscribe. We'll do all that stuff because I did make a little first hands-on look at this system. And Ambernick was kind enough to send us the RG34XX SP, and that's this foldable type device. Me and Scott both had purchased the 35XX XP last year, which was a little larger screen, I believe, and did not have the all-important recessed analog sticks. Now, why you need that in a Game Boy SP form factor, I don't know, but people certainly seem to like it, and I cannot complain because I played with it a little bit, and I played some PSP system games, and I thought it was all right with the little analog stick. The first one only had one analog stick, right? The PSP, and then the PSP had two.
I can't. Did our SP? I have the other SP right here with me. Hold on.
Right. So the PSP, or are you talking about the little? Yeah, because I have the original as well. The
SP.
But
there it
So yeah, I got the Ambernick SP, and we did a little review of that. It's
Oh yeah,
great.
there's no
It's
stick
fine.
on it at all. Actually, 0 stick.
Yeah, that's the one you have. I'm talking about the PSP, the PlayStation Portable.
PlayStation Portable
I
had the
believe
one
that.
little stupid disc off to the left.
Yeah, but until the Vita, right? Didn't the Vita have
Vita had 2
both
sticks. Yeah.
All right.
But also, the Vita had proper sticks. The PSP did not have that was not really a proper stick. It was like a little slider.
It was a slide stick, right?
Yeah.
It was a little slide thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was poop.
So I was trying to find the perfect reason to use the sticks. They work fine. They're clickable. They can push down. Really solid build, like everything from Ambernick I've gotten before. $59.99 is the going price plus shipping. It's probably going to put you about $79 if I had to guess. Usually between $15 to $20 has been the going shipping, even in the U.S., even if you order it from China. But they sent me the very cool looking gray, I believe, and it's got the nice little purple buttons, and it's got a nice D-pad. Everything about this system works really well. In the just like the 35 XXXSP, which I use a fair amount of time. I fold it up and put it in my pocket, and is at the hinge.
Sticks are a little
really
low,
well.
aren't they? A little low on there.
They are. They're recessed. They're recessed intentionally so that you can fold them up, right? So it did not.
I don't
bother me.
mean I don't mean low like that. I mean like low on the like on the surface, like you're way down at the edge of the damn thing. You see what I mean?
Oh yeah, like you mean towards the bottom,
Yeah.
Which is fine because actually it works out pretty good for the way I hold it. Because if I'm doing it like this, it actually feels pretty good in my hands. Now, of course, me and you received an amazing gift last year where someone had 3D printed us this nice little add-on. So I've got to find if I can find another 3D printed hand.
Oh, there's got to be
gadget
one
to go on
either
that.
coming or already out.
Yeah, right. It's because
STL.
it feels a lot better. These things are kind of small for my hands, but I've got big hands. But man, they're great for sticking in your pocket and taking it with you. And I'll be sending this on to Scott before too much longer. After I get through playing with this a little bit more and seeing what I can see. I did not do any of the operating system upgrades. A lot of times we do that right away.
Yeah.
Just right out of the box this time. It's a much better experience than it has been in the past.
How are the SD cards on this one? They've been kind of trouble in the past. Are they improving those?
So yeah, they used to ship out really inexpensive SD cards, and more recently they've been shipping out some fairly mid-range cards that seem to be doing okay. I believe these were SanDisk in these things, so good enough.
Yeah,
good enough. And if you had some ROMs you were really worried about losing, maybe you want to get something that you knew where you sourced it from, but it works fine. Now you can't get these things without freaking having an SD card with the ROMs on it. And the ROM selection's a little bit better than it has been in the past, but once again, I'm not too big on that, especially considering that me, I'm a single purpose kind of guy, and most of my games I play on here are ROMs I rip myself using my GB GB inners, the operator. So the GB operator got like a little USB device. I plug my little carts in there and I dump the ROMs and I put them on my SD card, and I like to play it that way.
Oh, nice.
I don't need all these other systems. I mean, people ask me like, well, I'll go through all the systems that I can see and play around a little bit, see how it performs. But for me, I'm a single purpose guy. I just like to, if it's got a form factor of a Game Boy Advance SP, then I want to play Game Boy Advance SP games on it.
Yeah, kind of my jam too. I mean, I'll put other stuff in there, but that's kind of what you want to do. It's like that one, the one that's more like the original GBA with just the 2 buttons. It's even shaped like the original, the one without the backlight. Right. That thing, that's why you would buy that, right? It will play other stuff, but you really want it. You want it for that GBA nostalgia, I think, a little bit.
And everybody right now is really going with this fold or flips and stuff, because we've got several other companies out there doing these foldables. All of them, under $100 for the most part. And
did the Mayu flips ever ship? Did that ever happen? The Mayu, whatever it is, can't remember the name. Was it a Mayu flip, micro, whatever?
Miu flip. Oh yeah, I think that I didn't it just release this week, so I gotta get on that too, so I can make a really good comparison on that. No, they didn't send me one. Usually we don't do we don't usually take donations from manufacturers or sellers to for reviews and stuff, but we're already kind of in this ecosystem, and we got a pretty hardcore group on our Discord server that's not gonna let us say any bullshit
Yeah, they
these
know.
Ambernics.
They buy a lot of. We have some in there that are hardcore collectors. By the way, we will happily review your devices if you send them to us, but we're just not. We're not on everyone's list. So
what we want to do is with this thing is they did not request that we have any, we didn't have to give no glowing review. They just said we'll send it for review and we can say whatever the crap we want. Maybe I won't get any more after that said that, but we're gonna give these away at the end of after we get through with this. So out to the community. To the community.
We're gonna find some happy homes for these devices.
Yeah.
These are the Miu flips, by the way, we're looking at here.
And they look really good and kind of similar. And I want to say that maybe they're smaller. Is this the Miu Mini Flip?
I do think it's smaller. Smaller overall. People do like the Miu Mini. That's a very popular device.
Yep.
Someone made their Pikachu unit there with a sticker. Very tricky.
I love it.
Let's see what they did.
Boy, I'll tell you though. If I had the time to review handhelds,
you'd be doing it.
I would totally do it. People they want to know because there's so many out there, and you really do feel like you got to collect them all because they're so inexpensive. And how much longer would that last? I don't know. So
I got big questions about how the tariffs have actually affected prices. Have we seen those shoot up yet, or do we know anything about that?
So I personally have not seen anything that I've ordered in the past year, and when I'm looking at checking prices, I haven't seen a change, which I don't know how that exactly is working because even though they paused the tariffs, they did not pause the 30% that's supposed to be going out. Because we used to have there's the way it's made. If it's under $800 coming into the U.S., then it doesn't have any tariff at all, zero, flat, nothing. If it's over 800, then I think it was 30%, and now they've made that for everything coming in. And I don't know if they put a pause on that too. I didn't think they did, but I haven't seen prices jump just yet. But I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a tariff expert, so
I'm not either, and I knew not.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't pretend to be one either, but I've not. I'm with you. I've not heard anything too crazy.
Right.
I have seen this though that I'm kind of interested in. Hold on a second. Right here, the Anio, whatever, Pocket Ace.
Neo.
Yeah. Look at this shit. Like that's sexy, sexy business. The only problem is that isn't this is that Palmer Lucky thing?
We talked about it last time. No, it's not him.
Are we sure? Because I'm thinking of Anduril, which is a very similar name to Neo.
Yeah.
Anyway, these are interesting to me, and we have a listener in our community, kind of a big shot. I don't want to out him or say his name, but he's getting one of these. He's going to let us know what he thinks. These are supposed to be really, really nice.
That's the three big ones: Pow Kitty, this one, Yaneo, and Ambernick, and the Mius. Mm-hmm. Those are all big in our communities.
Yeah, for sure. This one's expensive, I believe. Let's see.
Yeah, those are usually the upper end stuff. They have look at those knits. Look at all those knits.
Oh, so many knits. A lot of knits. So many knits. What are you going to do with all those knits? You know?
I don't know.
I'm trying to find. Let's see. Zubba. I can't find the.
I can tell you this about these Ambernick handhelds, the 34XXSP. I can tell you this: it's running on the Linux operating system, and it's not a dual boot. So that tells me it's going to be a little slower processor, and it's not going to be able to do anything like the N64. So if you're looking at that, you're probably looking at PlayStation, PSX, and prior for the most part.
Sure, that makes sense. By the way, here you go. These things are right now they're having a deal for pre-ordering it on their Indiegogo. But if you wait, you're gonna spend $459 for this device. It's expensive.
Wow. Yeah. They're the higher end of the
people are talking about these like these are gonna be the end all be all. I guess we'll have to wait and see how they review.
Once again, for me, it is a 3x2 format on this thing too, by the way, on the new one.
Yeah.
If that means anything to anybody. For me, once again, I'll restate what I've already stated. I don't care about a single device that'll do it all. I already have that. It's called the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
It does pretty much everything I need to do. And it displays Steam games. And then as a bonus, it allows me to play some emulation games. But I don't keep it because it plays the retro games. I keep it because I can play my Steam games on it. And the fewer things it does, the happier I am typically.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just
You like a good single focus type device, is what you're saying.
do it good. Do what you do good. Don't because because all these things have different form factors. Like the one we was just looking at, it's just like a Switch style box, maybe a little smaller than that. And is that the right form factor for playing N64 games? Probably not.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Probably
Although
not.
I don't know, those sticks will help a lot, but probably not.
Dreamcast, I'm just maybe I'm a snob. I'm a snob. And if you like it that way, hey, if that's the way you like it, and you only can get one device,
well,
do it.
If your love affair with retro is focused in a generation, for me, it's GBA. I love the GBA. I love everything about that library. I've said it on the show before. Crucial era for gaming, in my opinion, for retro gaming. Yeah. If I can get a device that does a really great job at being a GBA device, like these SP models from Ambernick, then I am very happy because it's kind of my sweet spot. That's my happy place.
Yeah. This, by the way, is what I'm sending to Scott. This is the
what do you got there?
34XX. I'd already was supposed to send this, but I've been sick. So
you slacker ass mother effer. You've been so slow.
I told you I was sick.
I know, you were sick. I'll tell you, I'll take it. That's the one I was talking about earlier, right? The 2 buttons. They do have 4 buttons.
Yeah, this is like the original Game Boy. The original Game Boy Advance.
Oh, right? Yeah, but the Game Boy Advance only had 2. They put 2 more on this to give you some SNES love, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
that's right.
All right. I couldn't tell all the photos because they make the X and the Y the same color as the device.
Yeah. On this one they did.
Yeah, that's wild. I like the screen size on that thing. It's a beast.
It's a really good screen size, and this is coming your way. And then shortly thereafter, after a couple of weeks, you'll get this other Ambernick we was just talking about.
Nice. Well, there you have it.
Yep.
Some nice stuff out there, and so far prices seem to be holding. So don't get too freaked out about the tariffs until something happens, I guess.
I guess.
I mean,
by the way,
part of the reason they're reshipping is because we pulled back some, and it's no longer as big a deal for electronics. So that's part of it.
One thing I didn't say about this new one is it's got the rumble, which I don't think the other one did, because why would you? It's a D-pad. This one has rumble because it's got the sticks, and I did fire up a Drill Dozer, which we had played recently, and it rumbled just fine.
I bet it did rumble. I bet it rumbled great.
It rumbled just fine, baby.
If you want some rumbling, that game will rumble.
It'll rumble up.
Yeah, rumble up. Get your drill out. Stick it in the wall. Let's go. All right. Well, that was awesome. We are now going to take a deep dive into a PlayStation 1 era series of games that a lot of people think are awesome. I think I might be one of them with some caveats. Let's talk about it.
Shall we play a game?
Games in question are Driver 1 and 2. These were PlayStation titles that turned your favorite 1970s car races into video game mayhem. Big open world, you got missions. A lot of them ranged from timed event stuff that felt a lot like Taxi or like Crazy Taxi, but harder.
Right.
And then, a lot of other stuff in between. It told a bit of a story, but really the idea was, hey, you're this guy named Tanner. You're the wheelman. In fact, the actual title of the first game is Driver: You Are the Wheelman.
That's right, North America. We needed more than that, because if you try to look up video game driver on Google, you ain't going to get this.
Nope.
You're going to get something. You're going to get a video game driver.
You absolutely are. I'm going to show some video here. The video, just for full disclosure, is upscaled so that it looks a little better widescreen. That's why it's playing the way it's looking.
Yeah, this is there's a couple of, not remasters yet, but there's a couple of fan projects that were, but this might be the PC version.
It's very well.
I think this is the Voodoo version, which I played some of as well.
This might be. Yeah, I think it might be, given the textures and stuff. I think you're right. Anyway, this is a lot like, if you play GTA 3, for example, you might say, well, there's some real similarities here. And you would be right. GTA 3, of course, came much later. Hence the reason a lot of people point to this game in this series and say, oh, Rockstar, did you lift some ideas from Driver? And they 100% did. I don't want to mince words here. Like, there is a lot in Driver. After playing it again, I'm more convinced than ever that drove the development of the next generation of what GTA was going to be. Oh, see what I did there with the word drive.
Well, I mean, in Reflections Interactive, the developer said they were basically trying to make a GTA 3D
Yeah.
basically. So I mean,
Yeah.
it was because GTA 1 and 2 were already out on the market, I believe, but definitely 1. And so yeah, it's just they keep feeding each other, and it's amazing. I'm so happy they did, because here you play as a good bad guy. You're undercover cop Tanner. I'm not exactly sure. The story's a little loosey goosey in
Yeah.
some of these, like the rear end of a lot of these big big muscle cars.
Mhm.
It's a little loosey goosey. Like Tanner apparently was a stunt driver, so he did movie stuff. But he was also did some racing, I believe, because one of the characters in the game recognizes you and points out that he knows who you are. But you're an undercover cop now, trying to infiltrate this gang. And okay, here's a spoiler. Spoiler, you ready for a spoiler?
I'm ready. I love
think it's this one. I
spoilers.
think it's the first one. There's a plot to kill the president.
Holy
What?
shit.
What? How did you get there? So it's a really weird going all over the place. I think that's right. Or am I thinking of two?
No,
Anyway,
I think you're thinking of one.
One of them.
One has I think it's one. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Kind of a
one.
twist.
It's a bit of there's a twist that reminded me of playing those Saints Row games. They remind me of the Saints Row games a little bit. As far as story and plot point stuff, there's some real ridiculous ideas being thrown around. Also, as you can see, some highly early on 3D Studio Max 2.0 cutscene bullshit going on. Not real time. It's okay.
It sold it.
It's okay. It's fine.
It really sold it. I mean, come on. I mean, the story, you needed that to kind of feel, because this is all supposed to be a cinematic experience. It's all the way cooked into even the modes of gameplay. There's a director mode, which I play around a little bit. People really talk this mode up a lot when I was reading about Driver, where when you do your mission or whatever, and every time you end the mission or some type of one of the driving modes, you usually get an option to do a director mode. You can pop in there and you can place cameras. So it'll do a replay, and you can place the cameras where you want in the world, and you can break it up into little chunks, and you can make this real cinematic, street chase, car chase like you'd see in the movies.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be the big sell, but going back and playing it, it's there. But I'm like, I don't know if I have the energy to try to get through the missions and then also do something cinematic. And you can save the replays too, by the way. It only takes 2 blocks on your memory card. Isn't that great?
Yeah, except it'd be even better if nowadays you can, but you couldn't capture it out to video and share it with anybody really. You just had it on your box.
Right. You had to record it in your VCR, and then you take it to your friend's house and go, look what I made. I'm the driver.
Yep, I'm the driver.
I'm the wheel man.
Yep, you're the first wheel man.
I'm the first.
Well, for some reason, I didn't dig that deep into the canceled third game, but wasn't there something going on with...
There's a Driver 3, yeah.
Wait, what's the one that had... What's his name from the Fast and Furious movies? I can't think of his name all of a sudden. The actor.
So I stopped at Driver 2, and I read nothing else because I do want to eventually do the rest of the Driver series.
Yeah,
so
maybe 3. I don't. 3's not great though, is it? Like 3.
People are not drivers. It and it's hidden too. Is Drive 3er.
Yeah, it's that one of those
stupid
things
in there.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones too. We're mostly going to hang out in the. I mostly only played 1, 2, and the Game Boy Color 1 and the Game Boy Advance 2, and I looked at the PC stuff too. But that was pretty much as far as I don't want to know anything else.
Is this gonna be weird to say this? I don't know if you're gonna agree with me or not, but I think the GBA game was the best of the 3, in my opinion.
So the GBA game is the most it's a really fun game for the platform. How's that?
Sure.
I won't say it's like the best, but man, is it fantastic, because it's got like this pseudo 3D stuff. It's still 3D, but the car you're driving is obviously a sprite, kind of like early Mario Kart, where it's like you only got so many angles of sprites that turn, and it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
When you're chasing after.
Here's a shot of it right here. I actually really liked this, and I'm not even sure why I did.
And it's this weird. Go ahead.
Because it's weird. It's really weird and feels slow, but
Yeah.
I'm impressed with how much is being shown. There's actually more stuff around than in the PS1 game, like more buildings and more like structures and stuff, which gave it a little bit more of a sense of realism. You can get some decent speed, but it also suffers from the same problem 1 and 2, which is the timer is so crucial to everything. Yes. F the timer, freaking just let me do the missions. I hate
the GBA is much more lenient with the time, and you're right. Like it seems like there's a lot more on screen because the draw distance is a lot further than you saw in the PlayStation 2. Both Driver 1 and 2 were late, not super late in life for 1 on the PlayStation, but by the time you get to Driver 2, the PlayStation was pretty much done. It was like, why are we even doing this?
Yeah, and if you look at it, it's the draws distances aren't the worst things you've ever seen, but their pop in is egregious.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad, which was the thing of the era, and 64 had similar problems. It's not like, nobody quite kind of had this solved yet. And the way they fooled you, especially in Driver 2, which we're looking at here, the backgrounds are essentially like matte paintings. So it would give you the feeling of a deeper city, even though buildings hadn't popped in yet. You know what I mean? It's just a static JPEG back there. But and also these cutscenes are a little better, but they're still pretty shitty. These cutscenes are real bad. Here's what I want out of this game. Can I tell you what I want out of Driver, out of the series?
Tell me what you want out of the Driver series.
Let me tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I want them to come back to the Driver series, call it Driver, make a brand new game, call it Driver, reset the thing. Tell the story again if you want to. I don't care. Stay in the 70s, the high octane action, the crazy stunts, all that. But make a modern game in this way. Really focus on the fact that you're the wheelman. So really focus story on that. You don't have a lot of control over what the mob or the bosses or the sub bosses or any of those guys are up to. Your job is just to go from here to there. You're not told a lot, but you get wrapped up in some dark shit as a result, and the story kind of builds itself. Make that game, make it a proper ass, awesome modern game. I would play the living hell out of it. And that's partly because we would have some modern sensibilities. Like you would have a series of difficulty settings. One of them could be, hey, I'm just in it for the story, so let me just have fun with these mechanics. All the way up to, whatever the high one is where the timers are real tight and, every second matters or whatever. Just give a more modern take on this series, and I think you could revive it. And also give GTA a little bit of competition, because nobody gives it any competition anymore. It's all like, hey, once in a while Mafia shows their head and goes, we have an idea. And that's it. Nobody else.
Oh, they would ruin it.
Nobody else
does it. Ruin it. They'd ruin it, because where Driver really shines. Now, in part 2, you got some multiplayer components, but for the most part, it's a solo experience, right? But they'd want to go, let's make Driver the open world, massive, everybody gets on it. I know. I would like to have just a solo experience, like you said, very story driven. I just don't know are people down with that right now?
I mean, it's a good question, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think so. I think single. I love it. I think single player game. Well, GTA is primarily a single player game at launch. Of course, you're going to have GTA Online and all that. But big game. Doom. The new Doom just came out, which is important because next week we're talking about something really cool. But Doom, The Dark Ages, which is really good so far, I'm digging it, is a 100% single player experience. There are no multiplayer modes of any kind in it. And I still think there's tons of room. In fact, if anything, I think we're swinging back toward great narrative single player games and less of everybody trying to have the multiplayer that the whole world wants and then making a service out of it. I think I think that's folly these days. There's too much of it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm with you. I think the Driver it's all about mood for Driver, right? The music in the first one, even in the second one as well. It's just this funk 70s. It feels like everything is dirty, and everything is laced in drugs and
prostitution.
And you gotta fit in.
Yeah.
So I'm all down with that, and without having to be. I mean, you never feel violent, because at least in the versions we played, you don't really get out of your car and shoot nobody up, right? You just get in your car, and you're usually running from somebody because you're an undercover cop, and you get chased by the cops a lot. No one told them, I suppose.
No.
I don't know why no one told the other cops that, hey, look, don't bust me, dude. I'm just trying to do my thing.
Yeah, you're trying to do like my biggest. That's again, you're touching on my biggest beef. The cops are constantly in the way, constantly a problem. I understand
So
that's
many
part of the
cops.
game, but look at that. You got 50 seconds to get this shit done, and you got 20 cops on your tail. It's just it's too much of that one scenario for me, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. And it's weird because looking back on an old game like this, I have some nostalgia for it, and I only played the first one. I should say that back in the day. Like here, I've taste tested everything modern, or since then this week. But prior playtime was all spent with the first game, and my memories of it are that it was even then a little one note. Like, okay, well, I'm running from here to there as fast as I can before that timer runs out, and that's kind of what this is still. And I wish it was deeper than that. And that's why I kind of want something new out of these guys.
I think that I actually liked. So I thought I had played it. I don't know what the hell I played, but it wasn't this. But I do. I just eventually remember. So when I first started playing, I was like, "Oh, what is this stupid?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute! I remember having to do this bullshit interview thing where you can't even start the missions. You can't even start the missions until you get to the interview thing. And it tells you when you get into the interview, which is just you in one of these big 70s floaty boaty cars in a parking garage with other cars, and you got to perform a series of stunts essentially. And once you've checked all those off, marked them off on your little sheet, you got a little sheet on screen that tells you what you got to do. Once you mark all those things off, then you can start the stupid mission. Then you can go to your apartment and listen to your answer machine and get missions and stuff. But until then, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. I couldn't get past this part. I remember playing some of the game modes, which I did again this time, but I never played any of the mission stuff. And my God, I streamed it. I tried to stream it and complete it, and it was just a disaster. I had to have complete concentration and be left alone. And finally, I just did it. I happened to record it, but I was like, I didn't even know how I did it. I just got so lucky in a series of doing the right things, which is like you got to do 360s, you got to do 180s, you got to do a brake test, a speed test, you got to do a lap around the thing. It's all got to be done, like you said, with that little timer. And I just happened to get it done. And after that, got into the missions, and it was fun. Playing the missions.
It's fun, no doubt. I just think the timers are restrictive and take away from the potential of open world mayhem. And that's the other thing the game is missing that other games would perfect later. But if you look at a game like, oh man, like I kept, as I was playing this week, I kept thinking, what would be really cool is if the whole time I'm playing this, that it felt like I was playing Burnout Paradise in the parts where you're not doing like single races, you're just getting around Paradise City, and that's
what you don't think Miami and San Francisco and New York or Havana, those are
fine. All I'm saying is the feeling of the place being a bit more than just streets, real flat too. The first game, very, very flat. Again, early PlayStation is just the way things were, but give me,
thank God, because it is flat except in San Francisco, where you got to go down those hills and being in those big old floaty boaty springy freaking cars going down the hills and stuff. Oh my God, what a nightmare.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But
it's kind of like Crazy. It drives a lot like Crazy Taxi when you get into San Francisco. And there's a bunch of modes that you can play that like Pursuit. And I forget exactly which one. There's one where you chase some bad guys, and then there's one where I think it's Survival or something like that. It is literally just the most obscene, insane level or mode that you play, and you start off and there's cops, and they just start coming from every direction, and they are maniacs. They are flying through the air, and it's just all about not taking too much damage to your car, because that's another game component in this thing, is that you gotta balance between the time, the damage to your car, and the felonies you commit, which is like running into other cars or running into cop cars or fleeing from the police or whatever. I was actually kind of surprised with when I first started on some of them. The cops saw whenever I would run a red light, and I was like, wow, I didn't know it was that granular because I would be at a red light and I'd be sitting there and I was like, okay, he's not after me. And I would go through the red light and it would like, wee. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, an easy programmable thing is just, it surprises you because you think, well, the game's just going to let me willy-nilly around town the way GTA does.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you expect the AI to be super dumb, and it is because, like, if you're being chased and your felony gets high enough, there's a bunch of long stretch runs that you can go in, and they'll put up a blockade, and it's real easy to kind of weave between them.
Yeah.
And then the cops behind you will run into them. Then of course you can get away. And man, it's the game loop. I really did like the game loop, even though I did want to throw my controller multiple times. But I kept coming back, going, "Yeah, I could do better. I could," because like the missions, like the timing, like you said, if you run the first time, you got a mini map. And you can blow that map up, and it pauses the timer, and you can look to see where you need to go. And sometimes you have to pick just the right route to complete it within the time frame, and I guess that's fine.
No, it's annoying. It sucks. I don't like it.
I mean, but you would burn through the mission so fast. I think
it's just not as fun. The timer takes. I say this about every game, so nobody get all up in my arms or in my face about drivers games, because all games with timers, and I mean, everything from platformers to driving games. I don't care, everything in between. It is a dangerous mechanic to fiddle with if it's going to be. If you want to have as much fun as possible, it takes fun away if you are constantly looking at that damn clock. And most of these missions, even the speed runs I've seen, people are just like 20 seconds left, 13 seconds left, 32 seconds. Like no one's ever whipping through the thing with a minute and a half left. They don't do it because the game doesn't let you do it. It won't happen.
So after Driver 1, I think it was after Driver 1, I read some interviews, and some of the developers from Reflections Interactive wanted to apologize to the players for being a little the difficulty curve is all effed up. That's something we really are very good at nowadays. But back then, maybe not as much. And boy, they just really screwed the pooch on the interview part where you have to perform all the tasks, because it was just way too hard. It was supposed to originally, I think it was supposed to be just a in-game test for the developers. And then I guess they said, well, we need some kind of hurdle for people to get through.
A tutorial,
so they kind of include it. Yeah. And they kind of included it. And there is a tutorial too. It'll tell you, like, go out and watch the tutorial first in the manual. And I watched the tutorial. It's got the controller on screen. And it highlights in little bright lights the things that are being pressed by the player. And that's fantastic. Unfortunately, it's impossible to reproduce.
It's really, it doesn't actually.
I see how you're doing it. There's just no way in hell I'll ever be able to do that without, months and months of practice.
And that's, by the way, totally okay if you're that kind of gamer. If you're the kind of gamer that wants to perfect this stuff, again, I bring up Souls-like for a reason. I don't just mean it in jest. I mean, the reason Souls-likes are popular is because there is an aspect of gamerdom that wants to go down to the wire, get it exactly right, get the timing right, get everything right. And then they're not there to just blast through it or have a good time and laugh their way through an arcade game. I just think that for me, the way I play, this thing could have met me a little closer to the middle. That's all.
Yeah. I'm really thinking I'm getting 2 and 1 confused. I think there's only Miami, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York in the first one. And I want to say that maybe the presidential stuff was in 2 with Havana. Like, I really have strong memories of Havana in the second one.
Here's 2, and has the worst pop up in the history of ever. I think this is LA though, right? I think this part is LA.
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not either.
You're probably right. Now this must be the PlayStation version, because, or maybe I'm thinking of Redriver 2. So there's a fan made version. It had to be.
This one's PS1. This is PS1, and I know that'd be the guy's description says he captured it right off one, but also the the jittery texture business and the drawing is definitely telling me it's.
Yeah, it was never the first one was released on PC and Mac plus the PlayStation, and the Game Boy Color, which we should talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
But Driver 2 only made it to the PlayStation and the Game Boy Advance, but there is one called Redriver 2 that fans had made, and it's pretty cool because, like you were just showing there, one thing that really improves the gameplay is a rear view mirror. Because you don't have to look to see how close the cops are behind you. In the PlayStation version, I think it's a combination of the two front triggers or something like that to look behind you, which is a terrible idea.
No, it gives you. you can almost make you sick. It's like, oh shit!
Yeah.
You
should definitely be keeping your eyes on the road the whole time you're playing Driver.
Yeah,
in Driver 2.
Because guess what? There are other cars and there are other cops in front of you that are ready to be dicks. So be ready for those dicks. I mean, look, I've got friends who are cops. No shame on your profession from me.
It's not just the cops either, man. Player in Driver 1 and 2, everybody in the city is out to get you, because if you start like going, oh, there's an open lane to the right, and you kind of start pulling to the right, you can be all the way in the bike lane of this game, and the person will still be just trying to come over just a little bit more, just a little bit more to get in your way. The whole game is a big magnet of trying to get in your way.
I like the physics of it. I like the floaty cars. They're very 70s floaty cars. They're big barges of automobiles, which they definitely were back then. Like all of that stuff really works well for me. I was going to ask you, I wrote this in my own personal notes. Do you have a favorite film version of this sort of thing? Because this is clearly lifted from inspiration from the film business.
Like Bullet and
all that kind of stuff. Do you have I have a favorite. I'm curious if you have a favorite.
I think yours is probably going to be, I don't want to say what yours is. I know what yours is.
Do you?
You'll tell everybody in a minute. Absolutely. You've talked about it like a million times on Film Sack.
Probably, yeah. I mean, you could say there are a lot of car chase things I love, and no, everyone at home's going, he's going to say Fury Road. I'm talking about movies like this. I'm saying like on the streets, in the cities. I'm not going to say Fury Road, even though it is possibly the greatest car chase of all time. Not what I was going to say.
Right.
But for me, I'll tell you mine. But mine is between two things. Well, it's between. I
would say.
Okay, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to tell you mine real quick, so you don't spoil it. Here we go. So I really liked all the chases, and it's not big floaty cars. I really love the Italian Job.
Oh,
the 2003 version specifically. The other one was good too. It was really good. Really good.
The 03 movie is good. It's very good. I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I would put that in my top 3 or 5, 4, something like that.
Yeah.
For me, there are 2 that are tied. Oh, chat just said them both. French Connection and Ronin are tied for me. Same director. So
really?
Probably not a surprise.
Okay, so you like those. I would have thought it would have been The Rock. I thought you loved it.
No, I do like The Rock, but if you're only getting like just a scene. So if I'm looking at a movie where it's a lot of it.
Whole movie. Yeah.
Then Baby Driver is number 1. I love that movie.
Baby Driver is so good. I mean, what better way than to... what better excuse to have than, he's got some kind of hearing problem, so we got to jack up all kind of cool ass music while he's wheeling around town.
Just a great movie, and it's about a wheelman. Like that's the point of the movie. So for me, it's the perfect Driver comparison. But if you haven't seen Ronin, people listening at home, or The French Connection, you are missing out. They are both incredible films. Ronin in particular, a little more new. I think it was it was 2000 something, maybe late 90s. I can't remember. So it's got some more modern sensibilities, and I think is probably the more impressive looking of the two. But French Connection, especially for its time, and an amazing Gene Hackman performance, it's real good.
It is really good. I mean, it helps set some of the standards for what we were going to see, and I'm excited to watch the Starsky and Hutch movie with Ben Stiller. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We're watching that in Film Sack in its upcoming weeks, and I'm looking forward to those big dumb.
I've never seen it, so I am looking forward to that.
Oh, I really liked it when it came out. I have not seen it since, so it's going to be interesting to see.
I can't remember. Was it presented
Stiller
seriously, or was it presented comically? Like, what's the thing?
It's Ben Stiller humor, so it's presented as being earnest on the surface, but it's also hilarious.
Okay, because he can do that. Dude can turn on a dime. He did Severance, for hell's sakes, and Severance is nothing like anything he's ever done. So I'm not saying I expect some craziness or whatever. But I used to, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
my dad would watch a lot of Starsky and Hutch, and I thought that stuff was great.
Oh, God.
Who was the guy that had the
love
bird?
Starsky and Hutch.
Who's the guy that had the bird, and supposedly in real life
The-
murdered his wife or something?
The
Beretta.
Birdman. Beretta,
Beretta.
yeah.
I was such a young kid. I barely remember it, but I
Yeah.
remember thinking Beretta was cool as shit.
Yeah.
And then the Rockford Files would be my other TV show that I would point at.
Yeah, Rockford Files, not great car chases, but
They were okay.
bad.
They were all right.
not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
he had-
consider what we had.
He
Yeah.
had that cool Camaro and all that. And then Hunter, that was kind of a similar vibe.
Oh,
in the
yeah, I
80s.
loved Hunter. That was so good.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
anything that featured
See-
big floaty cars whipping around corners and jumping off, ledges and stuff.
Am I
Great.
having a hallucination, or was there a Hunter video game? Jeez, it feels like there should have been.
Was there? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I would
There's-
love
there's-
that. Are you kidding?
I feel like if you were making a pseudo retro game, I think you could do a lot worse than doing a Hunter game. I think that would be
Is the
great.
game that you're thinking you played back in the day, was it the True Crime series, Streets of LA in New York City? Was it possibly that game? You
Dude,
mixed it up
It
with?
could have been. I'm not going to probably recognize it until I see, because I swear, for so many years I thought, yeah, I played Driver, and I had in my head what it was.
Yeah.
I guess I'll probably discover it one day. Like, oh, get out of here.
The other one would be
Yeah.
The Getaway. That might
And
have been it.
And what was it called? Maybe The Getaway. Is that sounds more familiar?
That was set
and
in-
maybe it's real short in a name
Yeah.
like that.
It's
Maybe
like
that's-
that. It was set in London though, so it wouldn't have been U.S. streets that you would remember from it. Damn it! What else could it have been? Driver Parallel Lines. I don't remember that. Wreckfest is too new.
It kind of looks like Getaway though.
Yeah.
Maybe I just replace some of those English looking cars with some old American muscle. I don't know.
I mean, I could have said the Mafia series, but that's newer. It's
Yeah.
past PlayStation 1. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it would have been. L.A. Noir maybe. No. There's no way that was way
No,
later.
no.
That was PS3 360 era. Well, anyway, it's a cool series. Now let's talk about the Game Boy Color one, because this is weird shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Now we didn't mention one thing about Driver 2 real quick before we
go
do
ahead.
that.
Do it.
You can do it in the Game Boy Advance version too, but Driver 2 introduced the idea of getting out and walking on foot. It's pretty
Yeah, look at that.
small, but you do it. And you do it as well in the Game Boy Advance version, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, he looks like a Atari man getting around town.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like-
It looks like Pitfall Harry. He jumps out of there, and he's got legs as though they were 90-degree angles.
I think it's crazy how far the draw distance is on the GBA compared to any of these other examples, because they're both
Yeah.
32-bit systems. One clearly a little smoother on the 3D gameplay in the PS1, but
Right.
this isn't bad. This is all right.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, and you like you mentioned earlier, the timer's a little more gracious, and the speed's a little so. Driver 1 and 2 both had issues in areas where you would have slowdowns,
Yeah.
and this one seems to have just said, you know what, we're going to go a little slower,
Yeah.
and then we won't have any slowdowns, and you'll just always have the same speed.
It
So
worked for me. I liked
I
it.
appreciate that.
I had a lot of fun on this one.
I think if you're looking for a good GBA game, this is up there. But I don't know if I could compare it to Driver 2 on the PSX. That's just a
Well, I'll tell you what,
better game.
this is better than any of the GBA GTA games. I'll take this over those.
Right.
They're,
Oh, yeah,
they're
yeah.
kind of shitty. They're not great. Oh, that lady, how'd she survive that run? Anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh man. So in the Driver 2 on the PlayStation, the humans on the street, you can't hit any humans.
Yeah.
But you can make them jump, and they'll jump out of the way. And there's only so many character models, so it looks like it's the same people all the time. In the GBA version, it's hilarious because they will literally just disappear.
Yep.
They'll just fly across the screen at superhuman speeds, and it's a little bit freaky.
It can take you out of it a little. There's no question
yeah.
about that. But for whatever reason, and driving games, I'm gonna be honest, like outside of Mario Kart, they all look like shit on the GBA. Like especially those that are aiming for this 3D look. But I still like it for some reason. I don't know why this chunky thing, this chunky ass graphic-y garbage look that we're looking at right here, some reason this works for me. There's a couple of rally games that I really like on GBA, and it's because I think it's because it's just so gnarly. It just looks like it was made by an angry programmer or something.
Angry programmer. It really works. It's what Nintendo always does, and I don't know what influence they had on the development team who developed this, but it just always seems like gameplay first, right?
Yeah.
It's like let's make sure the gameplay is fun, and then you get to look at something just really just weird and ugly, and it just works anyway.
Yeah.
It's just like, how is this ugly piece of crap?
Yeah,
so much fun.
I respect it.
Yeah,
this is the
and
one
they don't mind looking silly.
This is probably the one I'm going to spend a little more time with. Funny enough, I think I'm going to play more.
I'm going to go back and play more Driver 2. The Wheelman is back, and the reason why is you can't really pick these games up anywhere just yet. There's rumor that there is going to be a remaster for the Switch 2. We'll see. But if you're going to play this, there's a couple of fan made projects that are already out there. If you already got the CD, you can go to archive.org, and there's like a launcher that has like the Voodoo wrapper. So if you ever played the Voodoo cards back in the day, this has like a little wrapper that kind of like emulates all that stuff. And Driver 2 is pretty solid on my Windows 11 machine. I played it on my original PlayStation, played it on there, but then I also fired up to see what people were doing on the PC. And it's a lot of fun. No slowdowns. It's kind of got those overly smooth surfaces on stuff, and it's got a lot of options for graphic tweaking and that sort of thing. The water looks good, which says something. And like I said, that rear view mirror makes a huge difference, especially in some of the modes where you're trying to get away and there's a cop behind you and they're super aggressive, and you don't have to like take your eyes off the road.
That would become standard down the road. No, down the road.
Yeah.
Keep making these
down
metaphors.
the road.
Not trying to make metaphors, but it happens anyway. All right, the GBA or the GB Game Boy Color is what I'm trying to say. Is the version I want to talk about for a second, because this one, it's fine. It's a very restrained.
Infogrames brings us a Reflections game, except it's a top-down.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll skip ahead here a little. It's more GTA-like, but real rudimentary. Like, look at these shapes. It's almost like this almost looks like an indie game you might buy today because someone's really looking for a vibe. Of a certain era, right?
Right.
This was fine. I just felt like I was playing a GTA ripoff, so I couldn't do it very long.
It's really interesting because you're right. It feels like a GTA ripoff, but it also has flavors of Driver. They did a really good job on this one at catching the essence of what it is, but making it not as hard. It's actually a little more playable than the other. I played this in bed a good bit, and it's fun to be chased around by cops in this top-down Driver port. To the Game Boy Color.
It's not the worst thing I've ever.
Missions and stuff. Yeah. I dug it. The little sound and stuff was all right. It's good. It's all right.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's this could be so much worse, but it just And maybe some people are listening to this going, I'd really like to play a GTA like clone. And actually, I would argue this is right. This might even be better than GTA on the Game Boy Color. There are GTA games on the Game Boy Color that I think are terrible. They're choppy, slow, and bad. This is a smoother experience, graphically speaking. It just moves at a better clip, and it's similar. You're going to go do missions and pick up dudes and take them to the place and grab the bank robber and take him home. And, it's fine.
I can't complain.
It's like GTA with really rudimentary graphics. But again, I think that benefits it in the performance. Like, look at it. It's moving smooth and quick.
Yeah.
You ain't getting that from this, right?
It's moving smooth and quick.
Yeah.
If you played the Driver 2, the Wheelman is back on the PlayStation, though, you would have had to get your 2-disc.
Yeah.
Are you ready for some disc swapping?
No, I hate this. I hated that whole thing. Some people act like it's cool. It's like, hey, you get in Resident Evil 2, you have to swap discs. And I'd say, That's not fun. I don't want to stop. Like it was a benefit or a bonus. Like, what it meant, it was a large game. So you could, there was so much more content. And if your disc came like 2-3 discs, it was a big deal because that meant there was so much more game. But think about it now. The idea of just stopping everything, like a halt. Okay, put disc B in. F that. I don't have nostalgia for that. That is not a thing I enjoyed. We needed to get past that stage, and we did.
Yeah.
And we're way better now, and we'll never have to do that again. And thank goodness we don't, because that's dumb.
When you was emulating this week for Driver 1, were you playing on the Mac or PC or something, or was you playing with what was you playing with, like a
Driver 1 and 2? Played on the Ambernick H model, the side one.
So you got little sticks then. All right.
Yeah,
so,
that's how I played that, and I liked it with a stick better than with the D-pad. And then the GBA version I played, or GBA and Game Boy Color I played on my Mac using this controller right here from 8-Bit Do.
Oh yeah, the 8-Bit Do.
Yeah, one of them anyway.
Yeah.
The new one, the new version of this has the Hall effect stick, so I kind of want to get the new one, but I have no real reason to do it.
I want to do that too.
These aren't they're not drifting or anything, but I'm still like,
yeah, why not add it to it? Sure. I played both 1 and 2 on the PlayStation for as much as I could on my real PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have DualShock. So I got some nice little rumblies. Even though when I first started playing, I was like, "Is there a rumble?" Because my my DualShock apparently needs, I don't know, cleaning, maybe some resoldering stuff, because it didn't act like it wanted to rumble. It was the phrase, "Oh, let's get ready to rumble." It was not ready.
Let's not be ready to rumble. That's the new phrase.
No, it was like, but then all of a sudden it started going.
Oh, it was doing like a slow rumble. That's weird. But I don't like that.
But then it finally I guess it got warmed up, and it was like, all right, I'm ready. Let's rumble.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I believe these emulators do a really good job with PS1 these days. Like they're all pretty. No issues. So I had a very smooth experience with those two games. 1 and 2.
Yeah, and if any slowdown, if you're emulating this, and you notice slowdown, it was in the original as well. In lots of places. So
yeah. Slow down and pop in, like we said, and this is that's the era. That's where we were, and it's okay.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You gonna complain?
What?
No.
What are you gonna do?
No, you're just gonna pop it in. You're gonna swap discs halfway through. Somebody, who said in the chat? The Wraith says Laserdisc mid-film flip. Yeah, dude. No nostalgia for that. None.
Yeah, that's the reason why I got my Sony Laserdisc player that does a flip on its own.
See, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. There's still sometimes I'll have a 3-discer and I'll still have to pop disc out, but it'll do at least 2 sides, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I like that because that's at least kind of weird. It's almost like when our tape decks did that. Got the auto flip and would start playing the other direction. Yeah. Like that seemed like, whoa, what?
Which always got confusing to me because I was like, wait, am I rewinding or fast forwarding? Which side am I on right now? I don't know what I'm doing with my tape right now. Which way am I going?
Exactly. Now this is just my camera. Let me fix that. This right here is just a brief look at the Drifthreer.
Yeah.
Drifthreer. It's okay. I'm not going to poo-poo this one. I think it's a fine game.
Right.
I think it was never going to outmatch GTA 3 because GTA 3 at this point is a phenomenon. It had changed the world.
Yeah.
Open world gaming had changed forever. This did not shake up the formula enough. If anything, it stuck a little too close to the Driver 1 and 2 template.
Look how smooth that car is driving.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah,
I mean, you're supposed to be jerking back and forth, overcorrecting. I mean, that's a hallmark of a driver game. Right?
And that's my favorite thing about even the GTA early. 3 and 4 had these very sloppy car controls, and I liked that.
Yeah,
because it just made for chaos, and chaos is fun. Yeah. So I don't know. This one's all right. There's also a lot more on foot stuff, as you can see in this newer iteration of the game.
Stuff. Do some boot scooting boogies on that thing, man. I love it.
PS2 era, the PS2 era look of things. I'm really a fan of this. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Is PS2 is phenomenal. Oh man, you get on foot and you get to shoot. See, I didn't want to get into this because I was like, oh, this is gonna get this is going to change the dynamic. And I was like, so I do want to come back.
This is where they ran in. This is where they ran into trouble, though, because this game basically tried to GTA the thing, and GTA was doing it did a better job. So it had no chance, and there's a reason you never saw a Driver 4.
He's walking around too much.
Well, he definitely is walking.
I mean, by the whole time we've watched, he's been walking. I'm like, he's not footman.
There is no driving going on, but this guy exactly. But that's the point. Is they wanted to compete, with the GTA. Why my camera being weird? Sorry, everybody. I don't know what's happening here.
I like it. I was making clicky noises too. I love it.
It's like, freaking me out. Get over here. Okay.
Where I'm at.
Yeah, he still drove a lot. He had to drive everywhere he went, but it's still, they were trying to outdo GTA, and it wasn't. They weren't going to do it. So I think it's time to bring it back. There's all kinds of talk these days about Thief coming back and this coming back, and we're getting literally a new GTA next year that is expected to be the biggest game release of a decade. It's ripe time to make some good crime thriller stuff. So I say do it.
I'm a little disappointed in the car models, because I thought, okay, so from the first one, you're just in a nondescript boat car, right? I mean, the first Driver, you don't even know what the crap that is. You try to figure it out. It's like, maybe it's just some kind of Chevy. No, I can't tell what it is. And then by the second one, you can at least tell you're like, I think one of the cars you raced in is or driving around in is like a GTO or something. So they're at least kind of recognizable. And then when you showed that third one, I was like, boy, that is just like a generic looking 70s sports car. It's just, yuck. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's just that they weren't leaning into what the first
80s.
Two did. Yeah. They went to the 80s. Stay out of the 80s, man.
Yeah. The 80s.
Live in the 70s. That's where the cool car shit happened.
Put your wicker shoes up, Miami Vice. Just get out of here.
Yeah,
you don't need to
that was the era when we had muscle cars, the best ones, like the most dastardly villains. Like play in the 70s. That's where we want to be.
Yeah,
and these things.
That's what crime was. Crime was rampant.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I like it. Dirty New York, dirty Chicago. Those were good times.
Dirty Havana, Rio, Las Vegas, Chicago, all those places. Yeah.
Dirty Havana. That's why
I love some Dirty Havana.
I dated her in high school. Anyway,
you know what we need to do? I think if we do a new Driver, we maybe need to have maybe he's returned back to the stunt work, and then they pull him back in. Do that whole. I was out of the business.
And then they drugged me back in.
Tanner was out of the business. I retired out of the undercover work, and I was just enjoying my late in life stunt stuff.
Yep. Stunt stuff. That's the name of the game. Driver, stunt stuff. I'm into it.
There's a stunt man, right? There's a game called Stunt Man.
Was there? I don't remember. Might have been.
Gotta be.
Is there a Fall Guy game? Jerry says we need one, but I thought there was one.
that movie this past year was amazing with Ryan Gosling. Did you watch that one?
I still haven't seen it.
That was so much fun.
But you think he's sexy and you want to see him in things. That's your deal, right?
Well, I mean, that has nothing to do with anything. But yes, I do. Oh yeah, Stuntman video game, name of 2 action adventure race cars. We didn't even talk about where we got the proto stuff for Driver. I mean, because they had been making, and I felt some of this too, Reflections Interactive had been making Destruction Derby before they got to this, and boy, there's some parts I'm like, yeah, you guys just wanted to make another Destruction Derby game, especially when those cops are trying to come from every direction.
I was a big fan of that first Destruction Derby game. I thought it was cool. Wasn't there a sequel? I think there might have been.
There's like, I think 2, maybe even 3.
Now,
they did. Oh, look at this. Reflection Interactive did go on to develop Stuntman.
Oh, same guys. So, Jerry in the chat asked says we need a Fall Guy game. The problem is trying to find out if we have or if anything's ever been in development. You do a search for Fall Guy. There is not a search engine or AI bot available that doesn't think you're looking for Fall Guys, which is an actual game.
Yeah.
And that's all it wants to give you information on. So my thinking there is they got a name problem. And
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm glad. So I think it was different names for the original Driver game in different markets, but a lot of the places it was just called Driver. But in the U.S., it was called Driver. You Are the Wheelman, and I'm assuming it's because probably Driver was taken up a million times over in the U.S.
Maybe.
It's just such a common term. And man, like I said, trying to look up information for this game this week, I couldn't find the right words.
yeah.
It always seemed like it was taking me to seeing something else.
Well, I wish it was called Driver 2, You Are Still the Wheelman. That's what I wish.
Right. Yeah. It's just the wheelman is back, but yeah, You Still Are the Wheelman would have been an amazing other option. I think there was another weird name. They actually had 2 other names for that thing. I can't remember. But look, the Stuntman has a Game Boy Advance version.
Really?
What? Yeah, PlayStation 2.
I could play
I'm going to have to
that.
play this. This may be the spiritual successor that I'm looking for.
Wow, very nice. Fall Guy TV series, I just did a double check. There is no game. There have been somebody made some weird indie thing on Newgrounds back in the day.
Right.
But there's no official game around Fall Guy, which is unfortunate. They could call it Unknown's Fall Guy : Unknown Stuntman. And that's right. Sean Bloom's right. Wheelman's the one that had Vin Diesel. I could not remember where that game was.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was PS3, I think. Like 09.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2009. The year Film Sack started. All right. Well,
yeah, look at that.
It's almost retro. Let's think about that for a minute. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. In 2029.
You mean in the future?
Yeah. The year 2029, Vin Diesel's Wheelman will be retro if we do the 20-year
What?
thing. Yeah.
I love it.
And so will Film Sack. It'll also be retro.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Film Sack Classic.
That's effed up.
Ooh.
It's effed up.
Yeah.
I don't like time. Time can eat it. Time can eat it.
I love it.
Well, anyway, these are your games. If you want to go plan, these are the ways you can. And Brian already mentioned a couple of ways. The easiest is probably that archive.org stuff. And I like what they're doing over there. The Voodoo Wrapper's cool. So that's worth checking out. And again, for my money, this is just me. This is Scott talking, and I have a bias toward GBA games. I think the GBA game is great. I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm going to keep playing that.
All these are reasonably priced. And if you're looking to really get that Driver 1 and 2 experience, they do make a Driver 1 and 2 complete set for the PlayStation. So,
is that a thing you could
go on eBay?
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's a double, a 2-disc thing, or I guess
the three disc, three discs.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
When do you swap that third one in? When's that happen?
You'll never make it that far, Scott. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's great stuff. Check it out. There's plenty of games that you could go find, more modern stuff and racing games and timed games and these sorts of things where you could have that good time. Certainly any of the GTAs, including 5, will give you a lot of the same experience. So if you're just looking for the vibe, there's no shortage of driver likes out there.
There is a irreverent kind of game upcoming that's supposed to release, I think, in just a couple of days, and I've been kind of watching it on Steam, and it's called Deliver at All Costs.
Oh, I heard about this. I want this game.
Yeah. You can download a demo now, but it's supposed to be coming out in a couple of days, and it's going to be around $20 or $29, $30, something like $30 probably.
Yeah.
You can pre-order it now, but it's got that.
It looks so
fast action, just driving all over town like a freaking maniac.
Yep. 3/4 view. So they're kind of old school GTA, but also just a slightly more of a Diablo view. But look at the destruction. I mean, you're tearing the town apart, and you're just kind of crazy taxi style, trying to get deliveries done, avoiding cops, criminals, all kinds of other shit. As soon as I saw this about 6 months ago, I was like, how fast can I wish list this and have it in my soul? So this is a game. Look at the boxes in the back of the truck. This is a game I'm 1,000% purchasing as soon as it's available. I'm not trying the demo because I hate demos. You're more of a demo guy. I don't like demos. I'm not a fan.
I usually do use demos now as just to make sure that the gameplay is something that fits in with something that I would like.
Yeah.
It doesn't usually take me very long. I'm just like, first couple minutes, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I like the way this controls. If I don't like the way something controls, I'm like, nah, I'm out.
Yep. Just havoc and chaos. This is what I'm talking about right here. I'm actually super jonesing for this game. So
yeah.
Watch for this, and I think it might already be oh no, it's playable on deck. Let's see. Some of the text is small as all. Everything else is good.
That happens on that though.
Yeah,
but Deliver
normal.
at All Cost is the name of the game. It's going to be on Steam. It's a Konami thing, publishing. Yep.
Konami publishing. It's made by
Games.
who's Studio Far Out
Studio
Games.
Far Out Games.
What have they made?
Yeah.
That's it so far, and this is new.
As far as I know, just this Deliver All Cost, but probably a team of somebody from something else, if I had to guess.
It's so weird seeing Konami with their name on small projects like this. They're getting into it again.
There's also a game called
Look at him. He's delivering delivering a swordfish.
Yeah, isn't that great?
I mean,
I love it.
How fast can I own this game?
Just a few more days, Scott.
Damn it, dude.
Order it right now. You can pre-order this bad boy right now, but
I'm
a couple more days.
Stoked. How much is it again, do you say? $26.99?
$26.99.
Nope.
It looks like you can buy a bundle. I thought, I don't know how they tie in, but there's something called Precinct that came out on just May 13th, so just a couple of days ago. And it's also kind of one of those, it's what's it called? Is it 3/4 also?
It is also 3/4. Yeah, I saw that one as well. The reviews are a little mixed. They sound like it's a little simple, but I'm all for this stuff making a comeback. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! Deliver at all costs.
Yeah. It's
one of my favorite things in the world to look forward to games like this, and it better not disappoint me. Okay, Konami. I'm going to return it if it's bad. I'll do it under the 2 hours and get my damned money back.
It kind of gives me that. I don't know why it gives me that driver feeling, but it just feels like fast and drivery and no rules,
crazy taxery,
open world kind of. Yeah,
little GTA thrown in, a little bit of little chore core.
Yeah.
This is buy it all. You're right, the Wraith. It's buy at all costs. Deliver at all costs and buy this game at all costs. And the all cost is only $26.99. It's not bad for the cost. Yeah. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Man. All right, let's get to a game we made up where we play audio from old games and try to guess what it is. Here it is.
Destroy it.
Guess My Game is what it's called. We give a platform in a year, and then we give you or each other 4 possible answers, and we get to choose from A through D. Here is mine, Brian. Your platform this week is the PC, the personal computer.
Oh, I have one of those.
Yeah. And the year is 1996. Okay?
Excellent.
Nice long time since then. So here we go. Here's my audio. This is cool. I love that part. All right. That is your audio. Here are your total options available to you now. Chat room is saying Choplifter. That's fantastic.
Choplifter, yes.
Is it A, Ultima 4 Underworld? Is it B, Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall? Is it C, Dragon's Keep? Or is it D, Heretic?
I thought that was Dragon's Derp.
It's deep, not derp.
All right, Dragon's Derp.
I want to watch something called Dragon's Derp. I would play a game called Dragon's Derp. Hell yeah, I would.
Right. It's definitely not Heretic. When I say that, no, I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it's Heretic or Dragon's Deep. I've never heard of what Dragon's Deep. I don't know what the hell that is. So I'm going to say it's either Ultima 4 or Elder Scrolls 2. We played Daggerfall, and that all sounds very familiar. Have I played Underworld yet? 4?
Oh.
Did we? Yeah, we started with 4 or 5. We went 4, 5, and 6, didn't we? So
I thought we did
So now
4. Didn't we do 4? I thought we did.
I think we did 4. So we did Elder Scrolls 2 and Ultima 4. We've done both of those. Gosh, and it really kind of sounds of that era from both of them. Would give me the B. Would B be the answer? Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall?
Let's find out. It is correct. You've done it nicely done.
I thought I thought the burps were bad.
Nope, you got a Sega burp to confirm your correctness. That is the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. And the reason I chose it is I've been playing Elder Scrolls Online. Once again, I returned to that game quite a bit, and in there is a very great representation of Daggerfall. And I go in there all the time, and so I thought, you know what? Let's do a little of that. Even though we've covered that game, I thought it'd be fun to poke you in the eye with it a little bit and surprise you. So
I was actually leaning towards A, but I felt like I don't think I ever remember you giving me an A answer, so I was thinking, so I went with B.
Yeah, I have done one A answer, I think once. I can't remember if you got it. You might have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
All right, let's hear mine. Right. What do you got lined up?
Oh, so, I 4 years prior to 1996 was 1992, and I was hopping on my Sega Genesis, and it was one of these 4 games after you played the audio.
All right, here we go.
Well, that was dynamic. But don't you want it to be more romantic? Oh, well, a little romance never hurt anyone.
Honey, the kids want us to choose some shots.
Well, you choose something romantic, big boy.
I say more of those shots of that empty room spinning.
That's not romantic.
And basketball. Definitely more basketball. And less dancing. Who needs dancing?
That's not romantic either.
All right, no frickin' idea. No idea.
So, I'd never played this particular game. Is it A, Make My Video, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch? B, Night Trap? C, Crisscross, Make My Video? Or D, Sewer Shark?
Oh my gosh, dude. What year was this? 92.
1992.
This was on a Genesis?
On the Sega Genesis.
How are they doing the voice work? That's crazy. All right.
Yeah, full motion video stuff, yeah.
Well, then that'd be Sega CD, though, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Night Trap and Sewer Shark are out then, because those are Sega CD games only. There are no Genesis versions of those 2 games. I don't think these other 2 are on there either. I think these are all Sega CD games.
It might have been a Sega CD.
Yeah, they had to be. Genesis didn't have any of this voice modulation or video, for that matter. All right, so this must be CD. In that case,
it must be. I think you're right. I think it must be CD. The more I think about it.
Let me throw these back on because those are possible again. Sewer Shark, no. I played that. That's not it. Night Trap could be it. No, because they're clearly doing. Yeah, they're clearly doing movie making or video making. So this has got to be either C or A. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Are these the same game, just 2 different versions of it? One for Crisscross, one for Make My Video, Marky Mark?
There was a series of games called Make My Video.
Okay. And this is one of those, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. It is A or C. I got you to say, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you already narrowed it down anyway.
That's true. I did. I'm going to say A because it doesn't sound like Crisscross talk. You know what I mean?
Oh, you don't think they're going to jump any minute now?
No, I don't. I think it's Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. What's going on there?
This is Make My Video, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch is A.
Sweet.
You could have also played In Excess or Crisscross or Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. There was also a CNC Music Factory. These games were weird.
Yeah,
you
they were weird.
Basically have a bunch of video clips and you can put the video together and add special effects and watch the critics pan it and be terrible financial failures.
Yeah, there you have it. Real quick, Ben Whitmer in the chat says CD was an add-on. Yes, but it wasn't dependent on the Sega Genesis in any kind of processing way. It may have pulled from something, but most of what was happening, voice, video, that stuff, that's all happening on that CD device. So yeah, it's a weird. The whole thing's so weird anyway. Everything about it.
Game Informer gave Marky Mark 0 out of 10, the lowest score a game ever received from the magazine.
Holy shit!
Yeah, Electronic Gaming Monthly lists the series collectively as number 2 on their top 10 worst games of all time.
That's really bad. That's really bad. Wow. All right. Well, good job. You didn't fool me, I guess.
Yeah, you didn't fool me.
I didn't, and I didn't fool you. We did it. We had a day of not fooling each other.
It was actually very difficult to capture audio that did not say Marky Mark. They must have said it 1 million times in the clip that I watched. Every time I would go, yeah.
Is he in this clip? Like actual Marky Mark in this clip?
This like one of the few clips he's not in. It's a family sitting around the TV, breaking the fourth wall by making the video in the video.
That kind of makes me want to die. It sounds awful.
Yeah.
Chat wants to know what number 1 was on that list. If that wasn't the worst.
Oh, I don't know. I was just reading from the Wikipedia.
Because I wonder, there's got to be something real stinky.
Yeah.
If that didn't win, what was it? Oh man. Such a weird time for video or for games. Congratulations, Sega, and your weird CD add-on. Let's get to our next bit of business, which is some emails and texts. And these are always fun.
Welcome to the treasure room.
We're going to talk to or from or have or about. Sorry.
We're not going to say anything. We're going to let these people.
Yeah, we're going to let them say stuff like Alex, who wrote into voicecast.app/playretro, and he left this text, which I will now read. Hey, Scott and Brian, Alex Ryfox here. I think Ryfox. Yeah. Ryfox. Big fan of all Frog Pants offerings and a TMS patron. I'm a big, long time, huge Jagged Alliance fan, and I'm sorry. He's not happy about this, though. Says that I'm sorry, but the fan in me had to write in and right some wrongs. You've given out Jagged Alliance 3 a couple of times now on TMS as a prize, and both times you have mentioned how it is post-apocalyptic strategy game. The second time you have added how, quote, some say it is an OG of one of these post-apocalyptic games, unquote. He's right. I did say that. He's right.
Right.
He says, Scott, I'm sorry, but you are so way off on the setting. Perhaps you're confusing it with Fallout or Wasteland. I am 100% confusing it with Wasteland. 100%. I do it all the time. To me, Jagged Alliance and Wasteland are like brothers living in the same room in a bunk bed. They're the same people. I know that's dumb, but I do it all the time. Anyway, I'll go on. He says, Jagged Alliance is set anywhere from the 1970s to modern day. You assemble control a team of mercs to retake a tropical island nation held by a warlord. That's roughly the same story in all 3 games. That is true.
Yeah.
The second game has a UFO type Easter egg that you can come across, and that's about as unconventional as it gets. Again, apologies for red shirt guy energy. That guy slept on my couch. But I have the box art from the second game framed and hanging on my wall.
Nice.
I just had to say something. Love the show, though. Nothing but love for you and the Bryans. Okay. He's 100. I have no retort here. He's right. I mix them up all the time. So when someone says Jagged Alliance, I think Wasteland. When someone says Wasteland, I think Jagged Alliance. I conflate them. So
yeah,
he's right.
It's fine. But not after we do our Jagged Alliance episode, you're not going to do it anymore.
No, I'll never make this mistake again.
Right, Fox?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll get it right. Promise. Here is a phone call from Rob, and he had this to say.
Hey, Scott and Brian. I just wanted to call and let you know about this really cool retro store that I found in Northeast Ohio. It's probably a lot further up than, Brian, you went into Ohio. This is up by the lake. The place is called Video Game Nirvana. They don't have a website, but they're on Facebook and Instagram. This guy, RJ, who runs this place, Brian, he is your brother from another mother. My God, I walked in there and I was floored. I was back to being 10 years old again, and at the aisle in Sears, looking at all the ColecoVision and 2600 stuff that I just would never get as a little kid. It's just amazing. And then his basement, gave me a tour of his basement. Holy crap, dude. He's got all kinds of stuff, not just video games, but retro computers. He had a bunch of Tandy 1000 variants, old Apple IIs, all kinds of crazy stuff. So if you ever get up to Madison, Ohio, you got to go check out RJ at Video Game Nirvana. Anybody that listens and is in that area, go visit him. It's worth at least a visit to go in there and see what this guy has got. It is absolutely amazing. Thanks for the show. I love it. Keep it up. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Rob.
How close?
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I never went that far up, but man, Rob, now I wish I had. I got to get back up there. And also, by the way, glad you're still with us. Never go in somebody's basement. But in this case, it worked out great. So they had a good time.
So let me ask you this question here. How far? My geography of Ohio is next to zero. I just don't know where anything is.
Right.
Where is this in relation to Columbus? Because I really like Columbus. I like that.
I am assuming he said, did he say northwest or did he say northeast?
Most north, I think, is just all he said.
Yeah, I mean Columbus is kind of towards the center of Ohio. It's a little south, but for the most part, it's kind of in the center. So
Okay.
In relations to I'll have to look up the exact address, but yeah,
I want to go
if
there.
you're in Columbus, you're pretty close to the middle.
I want to go to this place. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Farther north and to the east, says Dr. Jerry Tolbert. Columbus is
if
in
you
the
hit
center.
Lake Erie, you've gone too far.
Okay. I spent like a week in Columbus and loved it there. That is a cool town.
Yeah, I love Columbus. That's
really awesome.
Fun. Yeah, fun.
Seems like a place
to
that
be.
should have
a
one
lot
of
of
these
retro stores.
Yeah, he should expand his cool store up northeast and bring it down to Columbus, and then I'll go visit again because I got friends there. Remember, who lives there? My brain hurts.
My brain.
You know what my brain needs? Silverhawks, but that'll be up here after the show. Don't worry. Don't worry, everybody. We got Silverhawks coming.
Hawk.
Anyway, thank you for your stuff. Voicecast.app/playretro. Keep that stuff coming, you guys. We love your calls and stuff. So thank you. Yeah.
If it's like you said, Rob, and I'm looking like on the Facebook page, went to Video Game Nirvana. If this is the same place, I mean, out of 100% recommended, out of 54 reviews, 100% recommended. Wow,
hard to beat that.
That is some major love.
Yep.
I gotta go.
I agree. All right, time to bring something into the retro world. We want to thank the video game from 2005 on PC, May 18th, 2005, Fate. Fate is the game, and Fate is now retro. That's right. It turned retro just this May on the 18th, a couple of days ago. Yesterday, actually. Crazy.
Yeah, yesterday. Ethan just turned. Ethan, my you remember Ethan, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, my guest boy. He just turned today. So yay, happy birthday, Ethan.
What'd he turn? How old now?
24. Not quite able to run his own.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but yeah, you know.
He's the one that him and Nick, roughly the same age. Nick's a little older. Ran a candy stand at Nerdtacular 2011.
Ethan hustles, man.
Yeah.
Ethan hustles. He's a
hustler. And he subscribes to Hustler Magazine. That's a joke. I kid.
No, wrong one.
I don't think they're still around anyway. Can you even sub to that?
Yeah.
Periodical.
The periodical.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to subscribe to your periodical of ladies.
I like your articles on the vagina. Anyway, here is the game Fate. I'm showing the chat right now. Made by Wild Studios, Wild Tangent, and published by Encore Software way back in the day. I never played Fate, but I had friends who swore by this game and thought it was amazing. It was sort of Diablo-ish.
Right.
If I remember right, it was like, was it turn-based? Hold on, let's see.
Good old dungeon crawler. Yeah, but
Fate Remastered is out. Oh, I could check it out now. That came out.
I could check it out now.
That came out this month. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right.
They obviously capitalized on their 20th year anniversary. Smart.
That's awesome. I thought it was turn-based.
Yeah.
Maybe it isn't. Might be real time. Anyway, it was a game I never checked out. Kind of want to check it out now. Maybe I will.
Maybe I will. Maybe it'll be a upcoming episode.
Yeah, maybe soon you'll hear about it. Our next game and discussion is going to be, I can't believe we haven't done it yet, but we're going to talk about
I couldn't either.
We're going to do Doom 1 and 2, you guys.
Yeah.
Doom 1 and 2. We're going to see what the Doom Slayer is up to, or as we just called him back then, Marine, what did we call him? Marine guy? No. He was called something. He had
was it called? I called him Doomers.
No, it was called something.
Doomer shooter.
Not the game, but the character, the guy you are. It's just Doom guy, I guess. That's it.
Doom guy is all what I called him.
Now he's the Slayer, so you gotta keep it.
Oh,
keep it
he's
real.
the Slayer. That's right. I forgot about that.
All the new stuff, yeah. Which I've been playing, and also it's the perfect time to do it because we got a brand new Doom game out there, kicking ass and taking names. It's very good. I'm really enjoying it. And probably about halfway through it, I think. I'm going to try to beat it. That way I can talk about that too. So, Doom. We're going to go way back. I got personal stories about Doom 1 and 2. Very personal.
I was kind of shocked how expensive the Doom was because I was wanting to get some physical copies, and I was like, oh, wow. But I guess the way they distributed it back then makes sense that you wouldn't have seen it as often until we got to the CD stuff.
Yep,
so.
Shareware and all that. I still have disc 1 of however many, 3.5 inch floppy over there, 3 1/4 inch over there.
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll have it ready for next week.
I've seen like disc 1 of 3, I think is the ones I was seeing. And then I saw all kinds of crazy stuff like, get this Doom pack with all kinds of levels of stuff you've never seen. I'm like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
But we're going to drag out the Carmack and the Romero.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of the old American McGee.
American McGee.
A few of the other people that work there. Tom Willits. Was it Tim Willits? I forget.
Tim.
Whatever
Tim?
it is.
Tom.
Those early
I'm not
days,
sure.
man. We've talked about their games
Tim,
before.
Tim.
We've talked about Wolfenstein. We talked about Commander
Hexen?
Keen. Yeah, Hexen. Well, Hex isn't really them.
Did we do
though, is it?
Hexen?
I mean, it's their engine, but it's
Heretic.
it's
No. Which one was it?
Well, Hexen and Heretic are both two different devs, so they're not. They just use the engine.
What did we?
I don't remember if we did or not. Did we?
Never.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
No, I'm not sure.
Duke Nukem we did. Yeah. But that's not
Yeah,
that.
we
That's
did
somebody
Nukem.
else.
Right?
That's
yeah,
that's
not
3D
fun.
Realm, so yeah. But anyway, we're going to talk all about that stuff. It is a seismic shift in gaming. It is maybe one of the most important points in history in video games. And we are going to do our best to cover it in a way that you guys enjoy and have fun with. All right? That's the goal. Next week, Doom, be here. In the meantime, sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/playretro. Why? Because people like Strangers and Miles Ribbons. That's what it says. Miles Ribbons. That's a long ribbon.
Raban.
They have Raban. He has joined us, so has Strangers, whoever that may be, and they are now getting no commercials or ads of any kind. They are getting pre-show content every week. They are getting these cool watch-alongs that Brian and I are doing right now for episodes of Silverhawks, which we're going to do one today.
Tallyhawk!
Right after this is over, we're heading over to the Discord and watching it. You can come watch us live if you want to. But those are going to go up in archive only to our Patreon people. Lots of other reasons to join, and I'm telling you, 0 reasons not to. So go check it out at patreon.com/playretro. All other things can be found at our website, playretro, over at frogpants.com/playretro, and sign up on our YouTube page. We want to be, not sign up, it's just sub. It's easy. Just hit follow, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The reason you want to do it is because we want to hit 1,000 followers. Toot sweet. On this new channel.
Toot sweet.
That's right.
1,000 followers. Then we just need, 3,000 watch hours, which we're getting there pretty quickly.
We're
And
getting
we'll be,
there very quick.
we can do all the membership stuff and the little emojis and all that cool crap.
We're going to have so much fun with it. We just need more, though. So get over there so we can adhere to the
We're
weird
more than
rules.
halfway there. So, just a little push, please. Just a little, get out there and push.
Yeah. And I get a call every day from the YouTube people going, what's going on? Are you guys...
What's going on? You're not there yet? You're 655. You just need a couple of more. Come on.
You having trouble there? Get to 666 at least because you're doing Doom next week. Anyway, that'll be a fun thing. So go check that out. That's I guess I should say where that is. That's at youtube.com/@playretroshow. Well, that'll do it for us, for me, and for Brian, and for all of you. Go play something retro.
Play something retro.
Brad Renfro, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, looks like someone just got their ears caught in the audio cookie jar at frogpants.com.
Come meet me at the Electric Lady Lounge.